Hello, this is Peter with another video. Today I thought I'd do an update on some of my pomegranate trees. I don't think I've actually done an update on any of the pomegranates this year, so that's why I thought I'd do an update today. But also there is something interesting I spotted on this one. So this first one here, which you can see, is actually my largest pomegranate. The variety is called Early. Don't suppose it'll... the variety was just Punica granatum early. Presumably it's meant to be an early flowering and fruiting variety. But as you can see, it's not got many leaves on it at the minute. And that's not because it's autumn or the beginning of autumn. It's dropping all its leaves, or at least meteorologically autumn. It actually drops these leaves in the middle of summer. And that's because of lack of water. Now, I was watering the pot, but obviously I wasn't able to provide it enough during the dry spells that we had. And then the last couple of weeks it has been a lot wetter, and I think that's helped push out some of this newer growth here at the tips. So now we're in early September. The pomegranate isn't going to be growing much more anyway. We might have another month or so. Certainly by mid-October this is definitely going to be dormant, I'd imagine, or going dormant. However, what surprised me yesterday when I was looking at it closely was what appears to be flower buds developing on it. This one, yeah, that's definitely a flower bud. Now, I've never had a pomegranate flower on any of my plants. As I said, this one is the largest one I've got. I got it, I think it was last year. It came from the nursery where I got my persimmons, the name variety of persimmons, but you can see there's a couple of flower buds developing on it for the first time ever. So that is quite exciting. Of course, there's no way it's going to be able to set and hold fruits at this time of year, but it is very promising to see those first flower buds developing. And now I am going to get this repotted. I was considering just putting it into a bigger pot, but I think because I've seen some flower buds developing on it, I'm actually going to plant it in the ground. It'll do much better in the ground anyway, but hopefully next year, if I can get this established over winter in the ground, it will grow quite well, and possibly we can get some earlier flowers. I suspect this might have flowered earlier in the year if I'd kept up with the watering a bit better and had it in a larger pot so it didn't dry out too quickly. So yeah, it's very promising to see those first flower buds developing. There's a couple of others I spotted which are much smaller, but yeah, we'll see how they get on. I'll just quickly show some of my other pomegranates because we've had a few other issues with those ones. Okay, so over here I've got a bunch of pomegranates in pots on my patio. Now all of these ones that you can see here are various different varieties. I won't go into detail on all of them, but they're all different varieties of pomegranate. Now all of this growth you see here is this year's growth, because every single one of these plants completely died down to the ground. I don't know why, but after winter all the stems just kind of didn't develop, and then they just pushed out new growth right from the base of each of them. They've now grown to a larger size than they were last year actually from the ground, so it's promising to see that they've at least reached a reasonable size in 1 year. Of course, these probably also need repotting. I do think there was some root issues going on. I think that might have been the reason some of these declined. I don't think it was cold, because it wasn't a particularly cold winter and these are hardy plants anyway. A few of my other pomegranates, which I'll show in a minute, didn't suffer any dieback. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it could be root rot. You can see some of these leaves at the bottom are starting to turn yellow and drop off, but there is some new growth here as well. So I guess we could be seeing some effects of dry weather down there. When it dried out and they started falling off, and now it's been raining, they've been starting to push out some new growth. Like I said, I won't feature each variety individually here, but I know there are at least, in total I definitely have maybe 4 or 5 different varieties in total now of pomegranates. I think this one's the dark form from Jurassic Plants. It's like a purple fruited variety, I believe. Now I'll just show you my others which didn't suffer any dieback. So this one here, I think is, yeah, this one is the variety Acco, ACCO. See, it's forming a nice trunk on it there. This one didn't die back this year. It's continued to grow from where it was last year, so it is bigger than the others that I just featured. But it's definitely ready to be repotted. Looking at that pot there, it's very undersized and has been dropping leaves again. They keep drying out these pots, although not so much over the last couple of weeks because it has been quite wet. And I do have another one down here. Again, this one didn't die back either. Can't remember which variety this one is. That is Parfianca, I believe. I think I've got a second Parfianca as well, one of the ones I featured earlier. But yeah, this one's also continued to grow. It's fighting for light with all my citrus and some of my other plants here. But yeah, I just thought I'd quickly show some of my pomegranates here, since I've not done a video on them for a while. And especially since I've seen the first signs of flowers on this pomegranate. So now I know it's definitely mature enough to begin fruiting, theoretically. So I will get this in the ground to give it the best chance of fruiting in the future years. Just need to find a suitable spot for it now. Ideally it'll have to go in a very sunny position to give it the best chance of flowering early in my climate. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this update. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll be sure to keep you all up to date on how my plants get on, including these pomegranates, and if we do get a chance to see some of these flowers opening before winter, I will do a quick video on them as well. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.